Galvanometer. Device used to measure very small currents. Gamma decay. Process by which a nucleus emits a gamma ray. Gamma particle. High energy photon emitted by a radioactive nucleus. Gas. State of matter that expands to fill container. Gauger-Muller tube. Device used to detect radiation using its ability to ionize matter. General theory of relativity. Explanation of gravity and accelerated motion invented by Einstein. Gluon. Carrier of strong nuclear force. Grand unified theories. Theories being developed that unify the stronger and electro-weak forces into one force. Gravitational field. Distortion of space due to the presence of mass. Gravitational force. Attraction between two objects due to their mass. Gravitational mass. Ratio of gravitational force to object's acceleration. Gravitational potential energy. Change of energy of object when moved in a gravitational field. Graviton. Particle that carries the gravitational force. Not yet observed. Ground state. Lowest energy level of an electron in an atom. Half-life. Length of time for half of a sample of radioactive material to decay. Harmonics. Frequencies produced by musical instrument that are multiples of fundamental tone. Heat. Quantity of energy transferred from one object to another because of a difference in temperature. Heat engine. Device that converts thermal energy to mechanical energy. Heat of fusion. Quantity of energy needed to change a unit mass of a substance from solid to liquid state at the melting point. Heat of vaporization. Quantity of energy needed to change a unit mass of a substance from liquid to gaseous state at the boiling point. Heavy water. Deuterium oxide used mainly in CANDU nuclear reactors. Heisenberg uncertainty principle. The more accurately one determines the position of a particle, the less accurately the momentum can be known, and vice versa. Hertz. Unit of frequency equal to one event or cycle per second. Hole. Absence of an electron in a semiconductor. Hooke's law. Deformation of an object is proportional to force causing it. Hydraulic system. Machines using fluids to transmit energy. Hyperbola. Mathematical curve that describes an inverse relationship between two variables. Hypotenuse. Side opposite the right angle in a triangle. Ideal mechanical advantage. In simple machine, the ratio of effort distance to resistance distance. Illuminance. Rate at which electromagnetic wave energy falls on a surface. Image. Reproduction of object formed with lens or mirrors. Impulse. Product of force and time interval over which it acts. Impulse momentum theorem. Impulse given to an object is equal to its change in momentum. Incandescent body. Object that emits light because of its high temperature. Incident wave. Wave that strikes a boundary where it is either reflected or refracted. Incoherent light. Light consisting of waves that are not in step. Independent variable. Variable that is manipulated or changed in an experiment. Index of refraction. Ratio of the speed of light in vacuum to its speed in a material. Inelastic collision. Collision in which some of the kinetic energy is changed into another form. Inertia. Tendency of object not to change its motion. Inertial mass. Ratio of net force exerted on object to its acceleration. Initial velocity. Velocity of object at time t equals to 0. Instantaneous acceleration. Acceleration at a specific time. Slope of tangent to velocity time graph. Instantaneous velocity. Slope of the tangent to position time graph. Insulator. Material through which the flow of electric charge carries or heat is greatly reduced. Interference fringes. Pattern of dark and light bands from interference of light waves. Interference of waves. Displacement of two or more waves, producing either large or smaller waves. Internal forces. Forces between objects within a system. Intrinsic semiconductor. Semiconductor in which conduction is by charges due to host material, not impurities. Inverse relationship. Mathematical relationship between two variables, x and y, summarized by the equation xy equals to k, where k is a constant. Ionizing radiation. Particles or waves that can remove electrons from atoms, molecules or atoms in a solid. Isolated system. A collision of objects not acted upon by external forces into which energy neither enters nor leaves. Isotope. Atomic nuclei having same number of protons but different numbers of neutrons. Joule. SI unit of energy equal to 1 Newton meter. Joule heating. Increase in temperature of electrical conductor due to conversion of electrical to thermal energy. Kelvin temperature scale. Scale with 0K is equal to absolute 0 and 273.16 K is equal to triple point of water. Kepler's laws. 3 laws of motion of bodies attracted together by the gravitational force. Kilogram. SI unit of mass. Kinematics. Study of motion of objects without regard to the causes of this motion. Kinetic energy. Energy of object due to its motion. Kinetic molecular energy. Description of matter as being made up of extremely small particles in constant motion. Laser. Device that produces coherent light by stimulated emission of radiation. Laser-induced fusion. proposed method of creating nuclear fusion by using heat caused by intense laser beams to squeeze matter together. Law of conservation of energy. In a closed, isolated system, the total momentum is constant. Law of reflection. Angle of incidence of a wave is equal to the angle of reflection. Law of universal gravitation. Gravitational force between two objects depends directly on the product of their masses and inversely on the square of their separation. Lens. Optical device designed to converge or diverge light. Linear relationship. Relationship between two variables, x and y, summarized by the equation y is equal to ax plus b, where a and b are constant. Lenz's law. Magnetic field generated by an induced current opposes the change in field that caused the current. Lepton. Particle that interacts with other particles only by the electroweak and gravitational interactions. Lever arm. Component of the displacement of the force from the axis of rotation in the direction perpendicular to the force. Light. Electromagnetic radiation with wavelengths between 400 and 700 nanometers that is visible. Linear accelerator. Device to accelerate subatomic particles by applying successive electric field. Linear restoring force. Force in direction towards equilibrium position that depends linearly on distance from that position. Liquid. Materials that have fixed volume but whose shape depends on the container. Longitudinal waves. Wave in which direction of disturbance is the same as the direction of travel of wave. Loudness. Physiological measure of amplitude of a sound wave heard on pitch and tone color as well as amplitude. Lumen. Unit of luminous flux. Luminous intensity. Measure of light emitted by source in candelas, luminous flux divided by 4 pi. Luminous flux. Flow of light from source measured in lumens. Luminous object. Object that emits light as opposed to one that reflects light. Lux. Unit of luminous flux, 1 lumen per square meter.